Welcome back, Carolina Keith, Professor Keith, regular Keith. Man, I can't stand Keith. Hey, Keith's all right. Nonetheless, I'm just Keith to me and most people around me, but I'm glad to see you here. Welcome back, everyone, to Crypto After Dark. Been a wild week, hasn't it? From what we had last stream to what we've got this stream are two totally different worlds. Got some interesting stuff to talk about. Plenty of other people have already talked about the big news. We'll talk about the reality, which is the chart, right now. How about that? If you haven't done so, please do me a solid. Go click the like button. It's free here. It costs nothing to hit like. While you're there, hit the notification bell and subscribe. Hit the dinger bell. There you go. While you're there, share the video around. I put the link in the chat right there. Go share that to your favorite social media place. Let them know what's up. Let them know what we do here. We keep it 100% real all the time. No fake, no BS, no lies, just straight up data and facts. We don't let anything else cloud our judgment because all that other stuff is just a waste of our effort, a waste of our time, and time in this game is money. All right? So let's get off into it, shall we? I'll just lead up with the big news, right? Well, technically they didn't win the lawsuit. They settled out of court, or settled in court, whatever. They settled for a $125 million fine, and this goes away, like we all figured would happen from the very, very beginning. I'm talking about Ripple and XRP. There's already been 100 YouTube streamers talk about this crap. What's most important is none of them have broke down the chart. Everybody just wants to talk about the news and how bullish this is and how wonderful this is and yada, yada, yada. How many talking heads can y'all listen to and hear the same thing and really think something's going to change? It's crazy to me. So let's hit the chart. This is XRP dominance. We've got pulled up here first. There's some key things I want you to note here. I've talked about this multiple times. We'll go through it again. This is the 2016 move that you had, the big shot up in 2014 and it rolled back. And then in 2016, you had the big shot up. More so what I want you to note are the waypoints that I've drawn in vertical lines, which are green, white, purple, and blue. Green is halving. White is in between halving and halfway over. Halfway over is purple. And then the peak is the end of the bull run. Same thing here for 2020 and same thing here for the upcoming bull run that we are currently starting. All right. As you see, this is very cyclical. It's almost mathematically cyclical. Excuse me. I'm going to sneeze at some point here. The really interesting thing about this is no matter how many times I say this, people still keep convoluting it and thinking something super odd's going to happen and super amazing and that stop. Just look at the data and look at the facts. All right. Way back in the day in 2016, I've drawn a resistance line here from the previous bear market going into the bull market via these waypoints that are vertical here. Note, please, that we broke the little resistance line right here only to fail back south right around the white line. You see that? Or shortly or near it, before it, after it, near the white line. That eventually created another little downtrend right there that did snap back and break right around the halfway line, or maybe slightly before the halfway line. All right. Note that. Going to 2020. Same thing, only this time you didn't really break the orange line. You just kind of smooched the bottom of it ever so perfectly, and then everything failed from there. And you can blame that on whatever you want, but it's pretty much identical to 2016 until we hit the big move. And that big move, which started roughly around the purple line, just didn't quite have the steam that it had before. She fell off short, never really breaking through resistance, which was that green box you see right there. It's the heaviest resistance on the XRP dominance chart. Furthermore, here we come into this bull run. Very similar layout. You got your peak, you're having, we're approaching the white line. This white line has typically been near our peak. As you see there, near the peak, shortly after was the peak, and now here we are approaching the white line, the peak area through here, and at the same time we're bumping our head on a resistance line just like the other ones had. So far, I'm sorry folks, Nothing to write home about on XRP dominance. What is XRP dominance? XRP dominance is the relation of money in XRP compared to the rest of the market. All right? It's based in percentages right over here on the right. Right now, it's 1.65% of the market. You do the math on that, can tell you that's not a lot. Okay? For the next greatest amazing digital asset that God ever created, 1% seems a little lackluster. Blame it on what you want. I don't really care to hear it. I just showed you non-biased facts based on what's on the chart. Now, obviously, we're looking for this thing to carry through here to at least the purple line. It can fail this line short term. I'm okay with that. No big deal. It's more so the November, December area where things get super interesting for me. Okay? That's where things kind of change for me. I want to see what happens there. That point, just like all the other points, was when we really had good movement and things really started to pop off. I'd like to see it get back to this green box or this red resistance line, orange resistance line up here as we peak out. You could do the math on 6% dominance based on what the market cap will be then, roughly $7 trillion. That would be $700 billion or so. Do the math. You'll figure that out on your own. All right. I'm no mathematician. I barely passed high school. I can barely read, but that doesn't stop me from reading charts. All right. So that's XRP dominance. Let's go to the next piece of the pie here, which is just a straight up XRP chart. I've had this drawn out for months. This has been drawn out months. And I want you to look at how well it's playing out so far. I gave two scenarios of what could happen. We could peak straight up and go, or we could peak up and roll back and then go. Well, the latter happened a little bit more aggressively than I thought. Nonetheless, it happened. Then, hey, regulatory clarity. It's over. Time to moon. I was told by multiple people throughout social media, be that on Reddit, Telegram, X, Discord. You just wait until this court case is over. You just wait and faces are going to melt. Man. My face is still here. Man, that's crazy. Turns out, none of that matters. We're right back where we were at the very same resistance zone, at the very same trend line, and nothing changed. What does that tell me? That tells me that number one, the greatest possible outcome, SEC loses. Number two, the next best possible outcome, court case is over, small slap on the wrist, move on. Neither of which had an impactful move on the chart that increased price to any exponential point. All it did was hit resistance and fail both times. So I beg you, XRP people, I beg you, I'm on your team. Please stop. I don't want to hear about BRICS. I don't want to hear about the quantum financial system. I don't want to hear about Nostro Vostro accounts. Stop it. You sound like a toddler who's trying to be an economist. You're not. You're an everyday guy just like I am. And since you're an everyday guy just like I am, you need an edge. You don't need to be a sheep. You need to be a shepherd. And the only way to do that is to break out of that mold by using the chart. Now, I'm happy to say where I think this is going. Best case Ontario for me coming forward for the next month or two would be as if this thing ran up to $1 and hit resistance. The only problem with that is at around 75 cents, things get gnarly here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's the bit step here. This is all my buys and sales. Let me pull up the Binance pair. Is that where I got resistance drawn? Yep. So I've got resistance drawn right here, 3 different levels. I sent this over to Ripple Van Winkle so he could use it. Same difference here though, okay? You're running head first into the heaviest resistance. Then the medium, see I got it right here, green heavy resistance, blue medium resistance, white upper resistance. This chart has more resistance than most all through crypto. There's only a few that have more than XRP. And that's because it's an older token. It's been around a long time. You can call it a coin token. I don't care. Same difference. You know what I mean. We're not getting anywhere fast here. Okay. Things are going to butt its head on resistance and slow down no matter what. I want it to go fast. It probably won't. Okay, not yet anyway. So if we get up to this 75 to $1 range, which is this blue box over here, c'est magnifique. That's cool with me. That actually breaks the trend line. Right there. Can't mistake that, can you? That breaks the trend line. And then after we break this trend line, we're likely to get a back test of some sort, be that resistance or trend, and then we start our march upward. And how far upward? Well, glad you asked that. Stopping points of $1, $1.50, and $2 are our first three targets. From there, we have to reassess. Yes, it could go farther than that, but it's not likely that it goes snap of a finger, oh my God, you won't see it coming fast. No. We were actually talking about how this chart looked all right over in the Discord the day of the lawsuit going away, saying, hey, you know what? This thing's not bad. A lot of them are worse off than this at this point. So because of that, you know, XRP versus Bitcoin could break out. I could even pull it up in the Discord if I had to, but my computer's going to be pissed if I do that. This is a gaming PC, and still, it don't like me running 30 apps at once. So we were talking about it. I was sitting there saying, I was jokingly saying, ooh, XRP is mooning as it was butting its head on this trend line. I said, but if it breaks out, excellent. It looks like it wants to. I even said that the day of, multiple hours before it broke, that the case was over. But this is clean. I can't deny this. XRP versus Bitcoin is clean. And in fact, it could continue running all the way up here to this orange upper line, which is 4014 or 4015. That's sats, Satoshis. More so, it's just a position on the chart. That's what I like to look at, position on the chart. I don't like to look at the numbers on the right. That's what most people get emotionally attached to, is the number. The chart position is all that really matters to me. So this could continue to come up a little higher here, but I do think it's going to run head first into this orange line and have a hard time here. So even if it goes up for now, it's not the best plan of action. I think it's better to actually wait a little closer to November or December, down here to this blue box, once Bitcoin gets a grip back over XRP and others. And we'll see it come back down in this area, likely, but it's head on that orange line, come back down to this area, or get close to the orange line, come back down to this area, and then, as I have noted right here, what does this say? In case you can't read it. Better to be in XRP than in BTC. You read that right. There will be a time when it's better. Currently, that's not it. It's not bad right now. Don't get me wrong. Again, short term, you may get somewhere up here versus Bitcoin. Cool. Be careful. You're not really going to get the big push until this thing back tests near this trend line a little later. That's when things will get really fun and interesting. I don't need a news case. I don't need a fake warrior princess shill on Twitter who's got a lot of following lately because she has a pretty face, but she really doesn't know what she's talking about when it comes to economics and or charts, because she doesn't understand the very simple fundamentals that go into this. It's too complicated to look at charts and be a realist and use logic. We have to stick with emotion. Emotion is how we win, right? Wrong. That's why we've never had a female president. They're far too emotional to be in a massive leadership position. That's why when y'all had queens over there across the pond, they failed miserably every time. So don't get mad at me. I'm on your team, XRP people. Short-term up is still possible, but not until later do I think any big moves happen. Man, I'm going to tell y'all what. That's a hell of a monologue. Right off the bat, just dropping heat. I wish I had the Don DeMarco button. I tried to get it to work before the stream, and I couldn't get the Don DeMarco sound effect to work, man. So let's go say hey to everyone real fast. Please, by the way, if you haven't never been here, or if you have been here, we encourage everyone to be active and be on it. Over here in the chat, I got the chat opened up so everyone can see it. Don't be afraid to come and say hey, holler at me in the chat, right? Let me do a pop out real quick, and we'll put everyone's comments up on the stream so we all can see and be a part of it. This is one of the things I like to do because I want everyone to be involved, all right? The more people who are involved, the more learning we do. So, shout out to Carmine Glitch for being first. ETH at 2,700, bro. I was watching. As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin and ETH next. Interesting thing is, I had been saying in Discord, I even posted this on X for everyone to see. Ethereum was at the most oversold point it had been in a year yesterday. And I'm saying, hey, look, man, this can't keep up. This is far too much sell pressure. It can't maintain this. It's only a matter of time for this thing snaps back up. It's Ethereum. Hello, everyone. Here's your opportunity. I got some pushback on that. Now we're going to talk about what happened after. But thank you, Carmine. What's up, Jag? Good to see you. Brad Williams, bless you, brother. Thank you. Jay Gross, he said, evenings greeting from the land of fire and earthquakes berserkly. Good to see you, my friend. Jordan Renee, what's up, my friend? Crew Chief 2, what's up? Phonetic Duck. Crypto Profits, how you doing? Crazy week. You daggone right, it was a crazy week. Burner, bought the dip. I like it, brother. Darren O'Rourke, good to see you, man. Reclette, what's up, Cheese? Colo, how are you doing? The Pivotal Trader, hello from 6,000 feet up in the mountains of Idlewild, California. Bro, what's good? My man's up there in the upper room. Big Fish, how you doing? Bill Childers, CL, what's up, my guy? Jordan Renee says, when I first got into crypto, I thought HODL was a typo. Now it's my entire life strategy, and my bank account balance was holding on for dear life too. Thank God I learned TA. Bro, I learned a valuable lesson recently too. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the stream. So no 69,420 for XRP, bro. Someone gets it. Rain, that's pretty good. Frompo, good to see you. Dude says you're like the Sphinx stone face. Of course you're not melting. What's up, what's up, Terry? Hammer time, all the money. You just don't know, Keith. I know, right, dude? You missed Antarctica. I'm sorry. Coinbase doesn't even have XRP in their derivatives market, but they got SHIB. Brah. What's up, Josh Udall? Good to see you, brother. He said it's baked in, brah. I like the thumbnail. Good. We're getting ready to talk about the thumbnail, Danny Deep Pockets. Good to see you, brother. SB Smith. Just a little sexist. Huh? It's not sexist at all, bro. It's actually a biological fact that women are predetermined to be more emotional about most things. It's in their biological nature. This is what helps them be better nurturers and better mothers rather than being fighters and leaders. There's nothing wrong with women who do have the more masculine traits of leadership. But the problem is typically that's not the case. And since the world works in generalities and averages, we must call the truth the truth. We can hate about that or not hate about that. I love women. Please don't call me a misogynist or a sexist. I very much love women. I just speak in realities. There's no time to play pity pat with reality. We either have reality or we don't. That's the difference between people who do charts and people who shill on Twitter. It's just facts. What's up, crypto enthusiasts? Other Rob, what's up, my man? You look like Winkle's older brother. I love the analysis and no BS approach. Thank you, brother. We have no time for BS on here. We don't do BS. Fritz, what's up? Tech says it's hot as AF here. Bro, how about it was 73 degrees and hurricaning here today? It sucked. People seem to have trouble finding the like button. Help this man. Bro, that's what's up. Go hit like, bro. It's free. It costs nothing to hit like. $0. If you hit like, you help out the stream. More people see this and more people get the knowledge that they otherwise wouldn't have. Why? Well, because people be struggling with emotions. Same thing I just said a minute ago. And it's not really me who's trying to be sexist or anything like that. You got to understand to take it with a grain of salt. Remove the emotions, because rule number one of investing is no emotions. And once you get past that rule number one, man, look, life changes for you. It's hard. You don't got to tell me it's hard. I understand, okay? I live it. I know it's hard. I came from emotional, oh my God, this is what I have to do. We have a saying in the South, bro. It's a tough row to hoe. All right? It's a tough row to hoe when you're emotional. I'm sorry. If you don't know what that means, you don't know about farming. And when you hoe a row and there's rocks, sticks, roots, old vegetables, particularly cotton, because it tears up the ground and eats up the nutrients. That's a tough row to hoe. All right. So when you're involving yourself emotionally with this stuff, all it does is drag you into a dark place that throws you off your game completely and leaves you with expectations that you may not get fulfilled. Rather than have those expectations not get fulfilled, how about we just remove those emotions, just stick to the logic, and when we use the logic, we come up with the correct answer. It's the same reason that a lot of people say, when like something very tragic happens, for instance, 9/11 or a random school act of violence. It's the same reason everyone says, let's talk this out. Let's figure out what happened and see what we can do. And you don't see a lot of people go, oh man, that's the right idea. Let's calm down and think this out. Everyone starts freaking out and having over-the-top emotional decisions, which is just about every time a bad idea. You know, you always look in hindsight and you go, oh man, that was a bad idea, wasn't it? Let's not do that. Let's stop being hindsight BS analysis and let's just stick to the facts, right? That's the easiest thing to do. And it's the wisest thing to do when it comes to your investments. M. Giuliani, I think I said that right. Good to see you. Jordan TMD, can you look at Litecoin? I noticed Grayscale has been dumping all the other coins that Litecoin. It's got nothing to do with anything, but we can try. Do you trade as a full-time job? Keep apologies. New to your channel. Came when Winkles. Absolutely, Adam 766. I've been doing this, only this, for a few years now. No more 9 to 5 for me. I made enough money last bull run where I was able to stash some to the side, and I'm able to live off of that. I do private consults also. So, hey, been doing this full time. I'm going to continue to do this full time. What kind of trading do I do? Mostly crypto, not going to lie, because there's more money to be made in it. I do dabble in Forex. Still got some Forex stuff running in the background. Unfortunately, I had multiple prop firm challenges running. Was $9,000, 1% away from getting funded on a $100,000 challenge, and then they took it away. Had to happen multiple times. Blue Guardian, I only needed to get to 10,000. No, I only needed to get to 1,000. I was up to 800, so I was 8% on Blue Guardian. Took it away. They've all switched to a different type now to try to jump around the hoops of the Forex BS that got pushed on us. And I don't mean scam Forex stuff. I mean straight charts, straight trades. None of this giving money to someone and they trade for you crap. That's not real. That's a scam. That's a Ponzi. I don't mind doing some option stuff. We have multiple people in Discord who do options. It's straight 100% TA for me because all the other BS doesn't make any money. Simple as that. I could try to shill you and give you hopium, but that's not a reality that I like to live with. Because fact is, when you get on here on YouTube like this and you talk, you're putting out your opinion to everyone like this. You could look like a real a-hole by getting up here and lying to people. And I can name you out multiple people who'll just get up here and lie to you, but they want the clicks. I'm not going to lie. I would like to get the clicks, but I'll be honest with you also, man, it gets to be too much. I get so much hate, dude, for just being honest and just keeping it real. Everyone wants to get that hopium needle shot in them, man. And I can't handle it, dude. I get mad about it, not going to lie. And it's something I've been trying to work on. Don't worry, though. Football season's starting back up, and I got my horrible Panthers jerseys hanging up behind me. I'll be rocking one every single Sunday. I don't care. I'll be way more upset about that than I will trading. So let's talk about Bitcoin and then Ethereum. I know I've done a lot of talking so far, but this reminds me of the old streams when I came on here and just kept it real, loud, and in your face. I want to get back to that. Also, I talked to Ripple Van Winkle a little bit today, and, you know, he was talking like the way he does his live streams is he turns on the Microsoft, Google Meeting or Microsoft Meeting or whatever it is, and sets up a waiting room. And in that waiting room, those people can jump on the stream and talk and ask questions, right? I don't hate that idea. That way it would give you guys, go Pat, go Peter, whatever, dude. You know better than that. That would give a chance for y'all to talk to me personally live on stream. Now, I don't know how many people will be down for that because, oh my God, go Bills. Get out of my face, dude. That's Charlotte North. That'll give everyone a chance to talk to us and, you know, have questions answered. I may start doing that, but man, that's a lot of trouble too. So let's talk about these hammer candles and why the thumbnail said what it said. What is a hammer candle? All right. First and foremost, a hammer candle is a candle that can be red or green, but you would prefer green, that has a long wick on the bottom. As you see here, long wick on the bottom, has a bit of a candle body on the top, and you would like a little bitty wick on the top. You see that? So I got a long candle body that's usually twice the size of the actual candle. Long candle wick, I'm sorry. Usually twice the size of the candle body. That's the candle body right there. This is the wick. And as you see, it's at least twice the size of the body so far, right? Also a little wick on top. That is a textbook hammer candle. Not only that, that's usually a sign of bullish times. When you get hammer candles, especially very large hammer candles, those are usually deemed as bullish, and you'll typically see a reversal upwards. In this instance, we have, this is Bitcoin on the weekly, we have multiple hammer candles. And yet, price still sideways. What does this tell me? Well, simply put, it means pressure is building. This pressure is building, and I have more bullishness than bearishness. Building pressure, building pressure. In case you guys don't know, if you've never worked a trade industry like me, I used to be an HVAC guy. Pressure busts pipes, folks. All right? Pressure busts pipes, but pressure also builds diamonds. You're seeing it here building. This is building pressure for a move up. I say that because we're on top of the trend line, as you can very clearly see there. We pull up any moving averages, you'll see. 50 moving average, perfect chef's kiss. That's beautiful. You love to see it. All right. As long as we stay over that 50 moving average, you're in a bull market, especially on a weekly chart. We're still over it. So just wait now, okay? This will come to an end eventually, but not yet. So if I also pull up Bollinger Bands, what do these Bollinger Bands show us? These Bollinger Bands get tight and they show us volatility coming in. Whenever they start to squeeze together, take a little step back here and you'll see how very wide they were apart down here. See how wide they were apart? Very wide Bollinger Bands tend to mean the price will go somewhat sideways. It could continue to go up, but it will go somewhat sideways until the bands tighten some more. As you see, these Bollinger Bands is getting tight. I would prefer to see the candles over the midline, which is that little orange line you see right there, which is a 20 daily moving, or 20 moving average, weekly on this case. I'd like to see it over that, which means we would have a continuation up to the top band, which is up here at about 72K. Ooh, 72K is previous all-time high, isn't it? That's right, right back here, roughly 72,000. These are our signs of things to come. All right. This is why I like these hammer candles. This is why I like the Bollinger Bands being tight. If we get a close anywhere over 60 or I say 59,000. If we get a close anywhere over 59,000, bullish AF. All right. That would throw a dragonfly candle. What do dragonflies do, everybody? They fly. All right. So that would be closing down here and cutting that candle off where the body was different, but still a sign of reversal. Now, what I want you to do on your own is, after I've said this, I want you to go look at all the things that you like, whatever chart that is. I want you to go look and see if your weekly charts are showing hammer candles. If they are, that's a fairly bullish sign. That doesn't mean it's alt season, but it does mean that you potentially have some reversals showing up there. You might could take advantage of them. All right. That's a hammer candle 101. Now, obviously, if we flip them around the other way, they're bearish. If we turn those hammer candles upside down, like the rock, and stick it straight up, you know what? All right. If we do that, that's bearish. We don't have that here. We have bullish hammer candles. I'm here for it the whole way. All right. Now, how about Bitcoin CME? Many people ask, what is Bitcoin CME? Well, it's the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Chicago Mercantile Exchange is one of the larger futures markets. The futures markets arguably drive derivatives. All right. Derivatives are secondary bets on top of an already betted asset. All right. Long story short, these are the big boys. And there's only two cryptos that run in the CME. That's Bitcoin and Ethereum. All right. They close on the weekends. That creates CME gaps. We all know Bitcoin and Ethereum don't really close. But in this case, they do on the weekends, constantly, every single week. How about this? The CME gap that we created just a few days ago has already closed. This gap is TKO. The bullish gap that I thought might close already closed. Man, that's crazy. Man, that's crazy. So, good news and bad news. It went a little faster than I thought, which is good. Problem now, we could technically clear the way here for a little bit more down before we get more up. I know that sucks to hear, but it's a reality we must live with. Now, we can go through some different steps here. Seeing as how we've already cleared this CME gap, I'm going to drag it over here and leave it there just so we can all see that it cleared the CME gap. And we'll dig a little farther in. I'm on the daily chart here. If I put moving averages up, you'll see that we have a bit of a problem here. We're still stuck under the 50 moving average, which is yellow, and the 100 moving average, which is blue. Unfortunately, we're running head first into a brick wall here. I shared a meme that I made a couple days ago about XRP. I said, look, man, I know y'all are all happy and everybody's getting that hopium feeling. There's new shields coming along, right? Hey, man, they're pretty and they got a big mouth. It's standard Southern women, man. Pretty with a big mouth, bro. I know better, though. Well, when you run into a Southern woman with this pretty with a big mouth, you know what's up. I mean, I married one, so don't tell me I don't know. Married two. Boy, I'm going to get in trouble for that one. Nonetheless, it's the truth. So I know better than to fall for that. And what I mean fall for that is the talk. Now that I've gotten older and had a chance to get a good redo, I realize that the one I've got now talks a big game, but bless her heart, she can't bust a grape in a fruit fight. She acts tough, but she's really pretty soft on the inside. And that's kind of the way shills are. They act real tough on Twitter, on X, whatever you want to call it, Reddit, but they're pretty soft on the inside. So I got a hard cap here for 65,000. We could still march up to, but I think we'd probably reject that. Perfect if we don't, though. If we don't reject that and we break over it, that leaves us with roughly 70,000, which is up here. If we can get over these moving averages, that's say magnifique, all right? Get us over the moving averages, give this thing a minute to think about it, and we might can break north and get a little farther. But I don't hold out my breath for that. One step at a time. I think this move's going to take a couple weeks. I really do. I think this move will take a couple weeks. But once it does make the move, everyone will be happy again. I know everyone's portfolio took a punch in the face. Ain't like mine didn't either. But again, I really didn't expect the big moves until later on this year. I still managed to stay over 100% up all the way through all that down. Luckily, I can attribute that to trading my way on the way up. I was able to buy some and flip them, right? So I was able to capture a good bit of gains. And here's a lesson that I wanted to talk about. I was able to let some of those profits roll away, but it's okay because I still maintained a lot of them. I still maintained over 100% worth of them. And because of that, that helped me solidify my position and not panic too much, right? We had some people in the Discord panicking. You know what I'm saying? I can't help that, but we encourage you not to do that all the time. We encourage no panicking. Breathe, relax, and have a beer if you need to. Have a smoke if you need to. We're all adults. Let's talk about it. All right. So there's my Bitcoin take. Be careful. Let's tiptoe around this market. I still don't trust it. I still think we need a couple weeks. That's Bitcoin and XRP for you. We'll do Ethereum next. Let's see. Roger says, love the XRP analysis. But thank you, brother. We keep it 100% real, even if it hurts feelings, even if it makes people mad. If that's what it takes to get through to you and be real with you and prove it to you that, it isn't what we want it to happen. It's what's going to happen no matter what. Then I'm going to do that. Chief says, that's a fabulous idea. I think you're talking about the live stream. We'll see. Jordan and Renee ask, why does anybody care about XRP? In case you're wondering what I'm saying, we'll pop this back up. A flipper over here like that. Jordan and Renee asked, why does anyone care about XRP? Well, it's the 4th or 5th highest search crypto on Google. Over 60% of the people who subscribe to this channel because of XRP. Google Trends tells me that. The biggest reason why is because all these shills get on YouTube and Twitter and hype it up once or twice a day, all day long. It never stops. And they think by doing that, that makes the price go up. They think by the news happening things or courts and regulations that's going to make the price go real high. When in fact, that's not how it works. In order for the price to go up, you have to have more buyers and sellers. That's based on a trend. That's what we chart. I'll hate to break it, but that's just the bottom line facts. I don't want it to be that way. I would prefer if I could say something nice and the price would go up. Trust me. Unfortunately, I don't get what I want. None of us do. We have to keep it real. And when we have to keep it real, it hurts, but it's the best thing to do. Us men in here right now, would you like me to lie to you? No. You want me to tell you the truth because we can take it. So buckle up and get the truth and deal with it. That's the way I look at it. And if it's happened to me before, I've had you guys hit me with reality. Like, damn, man, that sucks, but it's true. And I take my punch in the face and I move on. All right. I know I can take a punch. I hope you can. I've also recently, in the Discord, here's another thing. I started off this week on Monday by starting off and saying, hey, everybody, let's just relax and take a breath. Everything's going to be fine. Don't worry. Relax. 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 Everything's okay. You're going to make it. You don't need to panic. Everything's okay. Take a deep breath. Remove those emotions and let's get our head back on straight, right? And I've been doing that every time I've come on a live stream since. And this is that moment again. You're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's going to be okay. You have adult, grown men to talk to. The shills ain't in here. You can come here and talk to us about anything you need to talk about, okay? Whether it's this, whether it's getting to you and you're having a hard time keeping your head on right and you've got thoughts that you shouldn't have, whatever. Bro, come on in here and talk. We're here for it, okay? I'm a grown man with 2 kids and a wife, a mortgage. My vehicles are paid off, but hey, look, I'm here to help. That's all there is to it. And if I can't help you, I'm sorry, but it doesn't mean I won't try. Text says because they're the R word. I don't want to say that, but you could argue. Do you mostly leverage trade? Mostly spot. The thing is, Forex is all leverage, and options obviously are leverage. So I do leverage trade, but I prefer spot, way less risk, and it's more relatable to all of you. So that's why I do it. What timeline do you have your pivot indicator set on? Is one better than another? I particularly like, in this order, monthly, weekly, daily. However, in crypto, you might not always get to have that. So for your normal everyday look, I use daily, and I don't go any below that because for what it's worth, again, to relate to everyone, to keep it real with you, you don't have time to look as much as I do. If that's the case, cool. Let's make it to where you guys don't have to have a lot of time. Okay? How about we do it where you don't need a lot of time? You just do it 5 to 15 minutes a day. That's the daily chart. I do like the weekly. The weekly will give you a year worth of pivots. In a bull market, you're going to see some of those get breached, though. So, again, be careful with it. We've heard Keith's... Vara has heard Keith's LS, and it's finally woke up. I think it meant BS. Price can't move without buyers and sellers. Thank you, Cheese. And it has to take more buyers and sellers to start an uptrend. Trends are your friend. Once they start moving, you ride them. And it's easier for a downtrend to happen than an uptrend to happen. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's just how it is. It's not the way we want it, but it's just what it is. Let's get into Ethereum. Have a drink there. All right, so this is what I was talking about as far as Ethereum goes on the RSI. Let's take a stroll back. This is, I'm going to draw a horizontal line. This is June, summer of 2022. Right? June, summer 2022. Fair? Fair. This is August 2023. Mega oversold. What happened to it? Up it goes. Mega oversold. What happened to it? Up it goes. Here's almost exactly a year later. Ethereum. Mega oversold. What happens? She starts fighting her way back up. This was a bit of a layup. This is why I was saying, hey, this might be an opportunity for you to get Ethereum about as cheap as you may get it for a while. Now, I will say this. There's some ugly things about this chart that I wish I didn't see. I don't like that all these moving averages are happening up here, and I don't like it just had a death cross. So, in order to change my opinion about this, I need Ethereum to get all the way back up to these moving averages, play around with them for a little bit, and get back over. If I don't get that, that's going to be iffy at best. We could get yet another failure. I don't want to see that, but it's fully possible. It doesn't mean you're going to get the cheap prices that you got down here, but it does mean we could attack those lows again. Now, on the positive side of that, I want you to look at the wick on this weekly chart right here. Holy moly. This is a dragonfly candle that I was talking about earlier. Our dragonfly doji candle, and dojis tend to signal reversal. D-O-J-I is doji. These tend to mean reversal. All right. Since they tend to mean reversal, we should keep our eye open for Ethereum to make a move here again in the next couple weeks, not days. While that doesn't mean that we might not get some short-term up here, I'm a little sketched out on it making a real fast run. I think this is going to be a little bit more controlled. I still like upper level Ethereum highs, 8 to 10K, which is at least 400% from here. So you see what I'm saying? There's a lot of gains left in it. It just might not get them as fast as you want them. Here's an Ethereum CME gap. Remember I said that Ethereum and Bitcoin were the only two on the CME chart, and here you go. Same gap formed as Bitcoin, but as you see, Ethereum dominance not as strong as Bitcoin or XRP right now, and it didn't get up here and close the CME gap yet. However, it will. It's only a matter of time before it gets up there and does it. It just needs its little 5 minutes of fame. I want you to look. The daily 200 moving average is right inside that box. Your other moving averages are about to cross downward and are pressing down on the price. It might take a bit for Ethereum to get out of the mud here, but I do think it gets out. This needs a little bit more time. It sucks. I know, is what it is. Give it a little bit. I'm pretty confident in it. It just needs some more time. So the volume is less. Yeah, Ash, I never use volume as an indicator for crypto. It's, in fact, one of the worst indicators that you could possibly use for crypto because, in general, most coins lack enough volume to move the needle. Then, even if they do have enough volume to move the needle, it's typically too late as volume lags super bad. All right. So since it lags so bad, there are just better ways to find something on the chart. There are at least 25 better ways. And since that's the case, well, I just prefer not to use it. It's because it's a little bit of a lazy indicator. I don't really have time for that, so to speak. We can find better ways. And since we can find better ways, let's do them, right? If I throw up the cloud here, you see the cloud's way up here, again, above the CME gap, but I just showed you moving averages are in the way. So can we get back over the 200? If so, great. That gives us a chance to run up here, but that's the bottom of the cloud. So it's likely to get stuck there. That's likely to act as some resistance, not necessarily just let us push the door open and run on in. You get what I mean. No moon shifter right now. Greetings from Mexico. Can you do Algorand? I probably won't have time to do Algorand, but I might. Let's get to Litecoin next. Now, Litecoin is interesting. And I'll show you what I mean. So in case you didn't know, Litecoin has its own algorithm here. It has its own halving, and it has its own schedule of what it typically does throughout a bull run. All right, let me resituate my legs here. So I got the chart pulled up. Let's start all the way back here in 2016. So I have these are different. It's Litecoin halvings, not Bitcoin halving. So you typically have a peak before halving. Then you have your halving. You have a low, which I called the bottom here. You have your halfway done with the bull run, and then you have the end of the bull run. All right. Same thing here. Peak before halving. You had your bottom. You had your halfway done, which is right about where it took off on the last bull run. And then it ended off a little weak, but it ended off. Same thing here. You had your peak before your halving. You had your halving. Bottom will come in a little bit before or a little bit after the yellow line this time, but we are approaching the purple line. That has been roughly where things took off before. Now, in 2016, it did wait until the pink line here, which was a little late over here for us. So it might be best to plan for the purple line or near the purple line for Litecoin to make a move. This is why I said I don't care about what BlackRock, Grayscale, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. None of that matters to me. Not even a little bit. I don't care, because if they're selling, that means someone's buying. That means someone's buying. I know that's crazy, but that means someone's buying. So, got to have more sellers than buyers to drive the price down. And if you don't win. The buyers win. And if the buyers win, we're in a bull run. And I'm telling you now, can you look at the grayscale holders? It doesn't matter. It's pointless to look at. It means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Again, I know you don't want to hear me on this, and I know you think I'm lying to you, and I know you think I'm full of crap. It doesn't matter. If they try to sell, understand that someone has to buy that. That means that's buy pressure. There has to be more sell pressure than buy pressure to push the price down. And there isn't right now. Again, same thing I said about the weekly chart on others. Look, big hammer candle on the bottom here. It's only a matter of time before this makes a move and breaks. Again, I don't really think that's going to happen until later. Maybe it happens before. I'm hopeful. We don't have any confirmation yet. And what I mean by confirmation, give me an 821 EMA cross. Give me over the 50-day moving average. Give me something. Give me over the cloud, something. And we have none of that. It's all no's right now for Litecoin, so I got to wait it out. This chart looks almost identical to every other altcoin chart. This is why I say I don't care about any of that. It doesn't matter. All that's noise that throws your head off. I know it doesn't sound right. No one's ever told you that before. It's just like when I talk to people who ask me for other kinds of advice. It sounds ridiculous, but guys will ask me for advice on how to find women. Oh, you got a pretty wife. How'd you manage to do that? Well, pretty simple, folks. There's a few things you should be looking for, and you're not looking for them. So look for them. And all that other noise that everyone's told you doesn't really work. It's kind of dumb. Ice Cube had a song had a line in a song. You can't get juice for your ducats. All right. If you got game, you get a name and a number. That's it. Right. So our game is the chart. It doesn't matter if you have all that other crap and you're looking at all this. It doesn't matter. Another wonderful thing people like to tell me about is ETF inflows and outflows. Oh my God. Oh, imagine wasting your energy following Yahoo News. Imagine wasting your energy on all the things that don't matter when you could just be looking at the chart going, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. It's hard to do. I get it. It's not easy to let go of what you think works, but I want you to look back at things and say, hey man, have I gotten to where I wanted to be yet? And why haven't I gotten to where I want to be? I'm a guy sitting behind a computer doing this full time. You're free to argue with me. Okay? Free to argue with me. I have no problem with telling me I'm wrong. But man, it ain't because I'm being cocky. I'm just telling you, you got someone who does this for a living sitting here looking at you telling you this. You don't have to take it, but I'm giving it to you for free so you have it. And typically when someone does that, it's either useless or absolute gold. I'm not trying to say that I'm absolute gold because I'm not. I'm just an idiot behind a computer doing my thing. I'm a simp for charts. I know that's dumb for most people, but y'all don't do this for a living and I do. And I know that sounds like a dick thing to say, but every once in a while you got to hear from someone the hard way. All right? Keep doing what you're doing and keep wasting your time and keep hoping you meet the goals. You'll never meet them. Change the way you do things. Realize that there are times to sell and times to buy, times to get out and times to get in. The whole thing changes for you when you do that. When you see that light, just like that light, when you see that come on and click for you, everything else changes and you go, oh my God, I have dozens upon dozens of examples of it. I can go back and show you every live stream I've ever done. I'm not always right. I'm wrong too. But overwhelmingly, what we do on this live stream comes true. Overwhelmingly, it comes true. Don't believe me? Go back and look for yourself. The best part is when people try to accuse me of saying things that are scammy or lies or stupid. Please go back and look. I don't delete anything. So go back and look at everything I've ever said and see for yourself. I don't delete. I said a lie there. I have deleted some things, but it had nothing to do with crypto. All right. What I deleted had nothing to do with crypto. So it was different. But Yeah, sometimes I say stuff I shouldn't say, and I know that. So, unfortunately, when you're keeping it real, what comes out is real to you. Gets very offensive to some people, and I understand people getting their feelings. It's not easy. I was you at one point. I was the guy going, "Hey man, let me go check this, and let me go check that, because that's probably what's that. Let me go. Oh man, I bet this guy's got the alpha on what's going on." And nobody did. It was the same BS over and over and over and over. And I got stuck in the rut until it hit me in the face one day. You're never going to make it out like this. Had to fix it. When major news announcements come out, it does affect price. This much catch you off guard occasionally, correct? Adam ZZ766, no. No. We see it coming on the chart almost every single time. Again, just went through all this at the beginning of the stream when I talked about XRP. I told you, it's going to get stuck at resistance. I don't care. It's going to get stuck at resistance. It's not going to moon. You couldn't have had a better scenario than the SEC losing and then the SEC collecting 6% of the fine that they wanted. You couldn't have had a better scenario. And yet, here we are, same price, 60 cents. What is it going to take for you to understand that you're wasting your time worrying about things you can't control? Things you can control. Your mouse and your finger that clicks buy and sell. Things you can control. Everything that you buy and sell, you control. Things you can't control, the news, YouTube channels, Twitter, Reddit, Discord, everything that you're wasting time on and can't control takes time out of what you could be doing, which is working on this on the chart and figuring it out. Again, I know that sucks to hear, and you've probably never had anybody tell you that before. I do this for a living. This isn't my hobby. If I don't do good at this, I don't get to do it. Do you understand? No house, no jerseys, no nice watch, nothing. It's all gone. It's all gone if I fool around up here, okay? It's all gone. So I have skin in the game. If I was lying to you, feel free to turn it off and go continue to watch the other stuff you were doing. I'm not being mean. I'm just hitting you with the hard realities no one's ever told you before. It's not easy. I had this talk with someone else and they hit me with these realities, and that's what made me have my change. And if you're a man, if you've got the backbone, if you're tough enough, you can handle it, take it, absorb it, and use it. All right? Breaking a couple things for you here. Rule number 1, no emotions allowed in investing. Hold on. It hit resistance after a 20% gain, though. I front ran that decision and made that, but I see what you're saying. You would have had that hit regardless. Correct. Like I said before you came on here, I talked about this just before any of that happened. Put it in the Discord and said, look, this thing's going to break. XRP versus Bitcoin, that's going to break that trend line. It's very clear it's going to break that trend line. I was like 4 or 5 hours later, it did it. All right. We can guess and get lucky. Sure. But if it was what everyone thought it was going to be, the price would be $10,000. And it's not. It's 60 cents, right back where it was. Just boom, dead flat, right back into resistance. What did you gain? You only got back what you lost by not selling when it was already 62 cents, right? Congratulations. What did it get us? Nothing. Have watched for like 10 minutes and haven't seen you do more than open a chart. Okay, well, you don't have to watch, brother. Go watch something else. That's pretty simple. So, rule number 1, no emotions involved. Allowing your emotions to involve in investing is an absolute death sentence. You won't buy when you should. You won't sell when you should. You'll get the mentality that you're just supposed to hold on forever because you think you're Warren Buffett, and you're not. You're not. You don't have billions of dollars to just hold. You don't have that same situation. So stop doing that. You're not Warren Buffett, and that's not how it works. Time in the market is not better than timing the market unless you already have a truckload of money. Then you can afford to time in the market. You don't have that luxury, and neither do I, so we can't do that. Okay? Rule number 1, no emotions in investing. Not trading, investing. Rule number 1, no emotions. Rule number 2, have a plan. What I mean by have a plan, I've already found where I'm going to buy. I've already got a plan to sell, how much I'm going to sell, when I'm going to sell, where I'm going to put the money after I sell, and I've got a plan of where I'm going to stop in case things go wrong, which leads me into rule number 3. Number 1, no emotions. Rule number 2, have a plan. Rule number 3, what's your backup plan? What are you going to do when things don't go the way you think they were? What are you going to do when you thought XRP would be $32 in 2020 or 2022 or 2023? And it wasn't. It was all the way down to 30 cents. What's your backup plan? I'll just keep buying more forever? That's not a good plan. You need a real backup plan. If this hits this level, I've had it and that's it. If this thing breaks support, I'm walking away. If this thing gets to a level where I can't watch my money dwindle down anymore, I'm going to have to do something else. I'm going to set a stop loss right here. I'm going to set an alert on the chart that tells me, hey, I've had enough. That's far enough. You said you were going to stop, so stop. Rule number 1, no emotions. Rule number 2, have a plan. Rule number 3, have a backup plan. Rule number 4 is my favorite part of the whole rules, and the only rule that really matters to me the most. Take your profits. Because, folks, this is the best thing I'll ever be able to tell you. If you don't take your profits, I will take your profits for you. Take it or leave it. Unemotional, no BS, no lies. If you want to hold, you are paying me to get out at the top. Thank you. Or you can get it together and realize, hey, there's a time and place to walk away from this. There's a time and a place where I can't do this anymore and I got to stop. Now, we'll get back to the charts, since some people are starting to get offended because they're not getting to see what they want. I'm sure Blockchain Backer will tell you that we'll be up to $12 tomorrow. Don't worry. So Algorand's one I didn't talk about yet that I did say I would get to, and I'm sorry I took so long, but I thought that was an important time to talk about the rules, right? So, all right, Algorand's an interesting case here. So I'm going to drag this fib set a little farther to the right so we can see it. I love that it went down to Sniper's Alley and held. Sniper's Alley is the area between 786 and 886. That's percent, 78 to 88% failure. All right, that's actually okay, but it can't go any farther than that. And as you see, she hit it and bounced, and I'm okay with that. Now, I'll note, if I flip it to the weekly chart here and scan out a little bit, remember earlier when I said we were looking for those hammer candles? Well, there we go. A nice weekly hammer candle at the bottom. That's good. Problem, okay? We are almost at cycle lows. There's our cycle low, and we are really close to it. This thing has performed so badly. And I had high hopes for Algorand, so don't think this is me just talking crap to you. It's not, I promise. I had high hopes for Algorand, and I'm going to be straight with you, man. This is a little bit of a letdown for me, because I had this in a video saying I thought this was going to do well. It hasn't. So, as such, my plan has changed for Algorand. For Algorand, when this price gets up a little bit more, I'm thinking maybe 25 to 30 cents. I'm selling most of my Algorand. I'll keep a little, and I'll buy something else because I think there's better ways to use this money than to have it in this doing hardly nothing. Honestly, I think I'd be better off with Doge or SHIB than Algorand. I know that's mean to hear because you probably have some Algorand, and that's fine. I have some. But I'm going to try to get out of this. It's been very disappointing. And I think there are better cryptos out there for me to buy and better utilize my money. A chart might look good, but I can find maybe 30 of them that look better. Well, I would rather buy those. See what I'm saying? No knock on anything. But it's under all the moving averages, so I don't have any confirmation there yet. Under the cloud everywhere. The only thing that's good here is it hit 786 and bounced. That's good. And we have a weekly hammer candle. Now, I can throw in that we have some support right here that it bounced on. That's good. It looks a lot like 2020, which it did the exact same move in 2020 when it caught the bounce off of support here. I like it. It caught the bounce off support and kind of maintained. Problem was, it didn't really do much after that. It just kind of acted like it was doing a lot, and it was pretty dang uneventful. That's been very disappointing, and for that reason, that's my reasoning for backing out. Honestly, that's my reasoning for backing out. So, real quick, I was able to retire and move to Mexico. Oh, brother, that's awesome. Thank you. 40% bounce on XRP, not uncommon, like once per quarter, then fade, hence 2 years of sideways. What was the news in July and February? If I'm not mistaken, that was the SEC lawsuit being dropped, right? Or was that before that? So that's why I don't even care about that. But thank you for pointing that out, China Man. So Bro, that was a hardcore hour. I probably upset a couple people. I don't think the Jordan TMD guy will be back because he didn't want to hear what I was saying. He seemed to miss the point completely and get caught up on the fact that he wasn't seeing what he didn't want to see. That's the emotion slipping into your head, not letting you make a logical choice or logical decision, or even listening to what I'm saying. You're too worried about something else. It's pretty common. It's I'm not going to say low IQ move, but it's low IQ attitude. You're smarter than that, and I know you're smarter than that because you're here, right? So use that big brain you've got. That's not me knocking you. That's me wanting to help you out, all right? So anyone else who's going through the same thing, I'm here. Let's talk about it, okay? I know it's not easy to hear. You've never heard me say these things. That sucks. You're hearing it now. Nonetheless, I want you to keep a few things in your mind, all right? We got another crazy week coming up. Probably won't be as crazy as last week, but another one coming up nonetheless, all right? Thank you all for being here with me. Been a hell of a ride so far, and we're going to keep going with this. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. I appreciate that more than y'all understand, all right? For real. Even if I don't agree, I appreciate it. Next, make the best of your todays the worst of tomorrows, all right? Every day, let's have a better day. Last but not least, no one else told you today. Keith will tell you. Keith loves you. If you need anything, holler at me. I'll always be around, all right? See y'all after the stream over on Zoom. Sky's the limit. See y'all on the next one. I'm out.